Hello everyone, and welcome back to the lag fest that is Carpenter Station. Still not much word on how to get Razor Game Booster working for this, but oh well. It's been a bit of a while, hasn't it? Some people on my channel were getting a little concerned that I might be dead, because, you know, if you're off the internet for like 2 days, you're declared dead. I've just been mostly busy with university work and getting comics done, and partially the server has been on Feed the Beast for like 3 weeks straight. Yeah, that's not too surprising, really. Feed the Beast is sort of the in thing right now. We'll have a look down there in a moment. Understandably, as a consequence of that, I haven't managed to get too much done. At least, I covered up this floor, and I gave the accelerators their own little power sources, the same way I've got them, the sorting machines powered in the tree farm. So things are now quite happily running through into our storage area, as it happens, our supply room, with all of its mini golden chests. Yep, so here we can see we have some obsidian coming in, because there's no more room for it in the diamond factory. And let's just see how much of that we've got. Oh, mother of God. And a couple of iron chests, for reasons unknown to science. Okay, well, we should probably take a look at the Nether and see how much damage we've caused there. But oh well. Not too huge a problem. Everyone else on the server is using EE to some extent, so that's not a huge issue. And that blazing light behind the building tells me that I haven't turned my weather machine on, but that's okay, because we're not leaving the building much today. That's also okay. So the main things we're doing today is we're going downstairs and we're sorting out power. Yep, you heard me, downstairs. We're going to the basement. And I also finally want to have some kind of ranged weapon, because I'm tired of shooting at things with a bow and arrow or running head first at them with a nano saber. The nano saber is effective. Nonetheless, I'd rather be able to set things on fire and whatnot, because it does serve as a rather nice weapon, even if it's a somewhat subpar mining tool. Which is, of course, just my opinion. Everyone seems to love the mining laser as a weapon, which, bearing in mind, I live in the Nether for like 90% of my time. So come on, load in. Not a big issue for me when things are set on fire. So, this is where things depart significantly from the movie, because there isn't really much of any decent scaling references I can take for the basement area. And there isn't even that much, like, shown of it in the course of the movie, even though the big final fight happens down here. It's like, this big room, I believe, is described as the old supply room, and it's the room where Gary, the station manager, gets his face palmed hard by the thing, and then the thing like bursts up through the floorboards or something here, and then McCready does his overly dramatic and I would say somewhat unnecessary dive over here and blows him up. But yeah, I think it looks a lot bigger in the movie, but if you actually check out the scaling of it inside of the documents and whatnot, then it's actually not that big. But yeah, there aren't that many things I can use as a reference for how big the place is, so I've kind of just winged it, and this room is by far the least to scale of the entire building, of the entire station. But I moved my blast furnace over here. It was originally in a cave somewhere over that way, because the original tunnel came down here, but I boarded that off. But our main thing is, if you've been watching the channel recently, I put up a tutorial for a scrap engine. And the end of that had me showing off a reasonably large one. So here is where it resides. That's a different movie reference. That one's a reference to Kung Fu Hustle, because seems appropriate. And this is our completed scrap engine. Now I've got the covers over the lava so I don't fall in. We've got an MFSU here for maximum storage, and we've got a hookup to our station clock. Of course, we have to convert it through 2 different transformers when we're using an MFSU, because these need to be low voltage down here for the recyclers, all of which are full of cobblestone at the moment, but they're not actually powered because we haven't actually like ignited it, because that's what that little generator is down there for. Which actually I need to put a cover there. So while we go over we go back to our working area and fetch something to chuck into the fires. I should also get another cover for that. It's getting kind of dark around here, so it'll be good to finally have some lighting. Although I'm not 100% sure how to wire together the illuminators and stuff, and I still really would like some kind of replacement for them. Let's see, where do I go for what I'm looking for? Marble panel? Yeah, we'll cut it in half. Tools... There we are. Handsaw, there you are. And something to chuck in... Let's just go with a few scaffolds, because... Heck no, scaffolds are somewhat superfluous to our needs right now. Here we go, marble cover. I'm still carrying around my, jetpack refueling supplies. Oh, we're gonna need that in a bit. Wink, wink. But, they're not that... It's not that huge a deal, because... Well, with everyone playing Feed the Beast, I don't really have much reason to go and visit anyone. On the word of Feed the Beast, I know there's been a few people who've been, curious about me in it. I wouldn't describe my feelings as mixed. I would describe them more precisely as meh. Because Feed the Beast has a couple of mods that I'm specifically interested in. Like, there's Mistcraft. I am hugely interested in Mistcraft, and it's been kind of the thing I've been exploiting the most by far. On the, so that was some copper down there, wasn't it? Huh. How the hell did I miss that? Oh, not a huge resource issue. But now we have some copper. Yay. Okay, yeah, but Mistcraft I've been exploiting. I've appeared in some videos by, I believe, Nipty. I don't know if I've also appeared in videos by Andy. And the guys doing their videos on Feed the Beast have also seen a few things that I've been running on. The Nether Hub being one of the most important, with the little... There is actually, I guess it's more of a blaze containment area than a grinder, because it doesn't actually hurt them at all, because I have a nano saber on the server, so it doesn't matter, I kill them in one hit. But, yeah, those things are a dime a dozen for me now. I've built so many of them to my pain. I'm just going to finish up describing this before I ignite the beast, as it were. Unleash the beast, and all sorts. Just leave him to power it while I set up the things elsewhere. I don't know if I'll be doing videos on Feed the Beast. I may just be something that shows up in the background of everyone else's videos. I don't know. If the server stays on Feed the Beast predominantly for a while, I may do some Feed the Beast videos purely by necessity. But I guess we'll see. And let me just fix something. Huh, remarkably. Remarkable is like 9 minutes, and I haven't really been rambling. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to push this button and watch a thing go into that biggie bulb, and we shall ignite our new scrap engine for the Carpenter station. And there goes the scaffold. And she's burning. There we go, we have some cobble being used. But we're actually below the 512 EU per tick that this takes, that the MFSU outputs in. And evidently we haven't hit any scrap just yet, or else we'd be getting more in. But that's why we have our igniter here. So we will know soon enough. There we go. Now I believe we've hit some scrap. And in case you couldn't tell, these construction foam blocks are hiding some more glass fiber cable that's going through. So now this is... Yep, shooting up, and I'll probably install an industrial information panel around here somewhere just to have a quick, easy look at what's going on. But I designed this thing for safety, because you can... If you're standing here, you'll almost fall through there, but it's more likely you'll get through here because of the slabs on top. You can't actually contact the lava, which is nice when you've got something this dangerous. When you've got a nice cobblestone generator. I decided to have it like a block above the floor rather than perfectly inset, because it looks more like a feature of the room now than just something that's intersecting it. Oh, and yep, there we go. Nearly at half a bat box in a matter of seconds. And you can expand these, as I discussed in the tutorial video, which I will probably link in the face on my on the screen now. Say on this wall here. If you click that annotation, you'll go to the scrap engine tutorial. Done two tutorials in a row just because I can do them offline without the server. But the scrap engine is compact and fairly cheap. You do need a bit of glowstone for the recyclers, but everything else is fairly cheap. And away you go, you've got a scrap engine, more or less. It's just, the main working parts are just some form of storage, and block breakers, recycler, and generator, and you're golden, more or less. More or less, once you've gotten to the point of having iron, you're set. Again, I could say that for a lot of things. Okay, so... Oh, yep, nearly hit a bat box there in my ramblings. So... while he runs up, we shall go and we shall put together a mining laser. And as I say, mining laser, not a fantastic mining tool, because it creates long tunnels that are one high. And if you try and aim down to get the rest of the tunnel, well, you just manage to create a diagonal path of the same height, really, so I don't really like them as far as mining goes. Especially since they drop the items where they were, so you have to go and collect it anyway. But let's see, mining laser. Advanced alloys, advanced circuit, 2 energy crystal, and a piece of redstone. Now let's see what we have in our parts box. Quite a lot of advanced alloy. And this is a sign that you can. This is a sign you can tell that I've been playing a bit too much Feed the Beast, because I'm thinking I'm carrying a pocket crafting table. Oh well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And a diamond. There's 13 of diamonds, I believe, at the moment, waiting in the diamond factory, but not that huge an issue. Now, if you wait one moment, because I'm about to sneeze. Yeah. I get the sensation that I may be coming down with some form of ailment. And yeah, that's something you can do, is you can combine empty energy crystals to get some energy, but you lose a diamond and some redstone in the process, so I don't much see the point of that. Okay, and now we need this circuit. One thing I should probably do at some point is just set up a box that just makes circuits, because you always need more of them. Let's see, I don't have much more cobble cable. Why do I have some cobblestone covers here? That's strange. We shall leave that for now. Right, well, I'm going to need some rubber. And some refined iron, and some copper. As you can see, I was not particularly worried about having too little of it. In fact, I think there's a whole ton of it in here. Oh, yep, 48, which is over a stack's worth. And we need 2 redstone for the normal, in case anyone's forgotten. 4 more to make it advanced, as well as 2 lapis and 2 glowstone. We don't have... I always do these things where I think I got like a spare crafting table around, but no. Deep. Get you all out. Nope, need to make the wires first. So what have I been doing on Feed the Beast? I'm sure you're all wondering. Well, my usual default position when I go onto a multiplayer server is the janitor, effectively. My usual thing is, people need this. I shall make this so that everyone can use it. And that's usually what I end up doing. This time, I decided to do things a little bit differently, in that I am effectively a corporation on the server. I am Bedmon Inc., chief provider of transportation nodes around the server at the moment, in that I make the link hubs and the Mistcraft portals and whatnot to... Oh, good, that's charged. Nothing else has, but that's charged. In fact, wow, that lap pack isn't even charged fully. Which is even worse on the Feed the Beast, because there's even more power that I can put into a lap pack, such as an advanced lap pack. And this is hopefully not going to be a problem anymore with these generators and these storages, because we can link it up to the Beast downstairs, which I suppose, this being Carpenter Station, I probably could have called the Thing, but oh well. And let's just give this a charge. It doesn't have that big a charge to my knowledge. One thing that I do like in Feed the Beasts for Industrial Craft is that you can see the power level that's in it, rather than just the bar, which is pretty damn ambiguous. But we'll leave that charging for a bit. And since we are going to be tearing out a lot of space and putting in a lot of wires, whether or not I'll do that on camera, I don't know, because it'll be boring as sin. Let's talk a little bit about voltage. And fairly easy, I think, to demonstrate those. Do that. Right. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Okay. So, we all know these cables, more or less. You've got your basic copper that you pretty much start with, you've got your gold, this is twice insulated, and you might want to take a look at that at some point when he's been playing with his force fields, and we've got high voltage. Usually when I'm doing high voltage, I do it very, very heavily insulated. But, why are these important? Well, you saw downstairs that the MFSU outputs 512 EU per tick. That's the minimum. That's the absolute minimum it puts out. This is the MFE, outputs 128, and the Batbox, good old Batbox, outputs 32. Those are more or less the different voltages. There is one higher than that called Extreme, but I would need a very expensive transformer to demonstrate that to you. So the copper cable can take 32, it is pretty much strictly low voltage. The gold can take 128, but if you don't insulate it properly, it usually starts electrocuting you. And the high voltage takes the full 512. Unfortunately, almost every single machine that you will ever use inside of Industrial Craft, or at least inside of Tekkit, cannot take more than 32. So you generally need to jump it down a step or two. Like we have here, we have our low voltage transformer, and in the Beast we have the 2 transformers to take it down for the recyclers. So why would you ever do something? Why would you ever not transform it outside, like right next to the box? Well, because if you have cables have different losses, for lack of a better term. And I don't recall specifically what the losses are, but the glass fiber cable that we have used in the Beast, which I don't have a representation for here, I don't think. No, I don't. Apologies. But it's the stuff that was coming out of the MFSU in the Beast. That has, to my knowledge, the lowest loss. Some of the other cables might have lower ones. I think the ultra-low current cable has a very low loss as well. Copper cable, you lose quite a bit of power, actually. Gold cable, slightly less. High voltage cable, slightly less as well. Don't take my word on that, I'm mostly just quoting experience. And so you want to be transferring your power in as high a voltage as it starts out as. It doesn't really pay to transform it up, but you want to be shoving them out of your storage mediums using the higher voltage more likely than what you're actually putting it in. Here we have it transforming right out the box because we're right next to everything, so it's not much of a loss anyway. But if you saw downstairs in the Beast, the wire goes for a bit before it goes down into the transformers, and then it goes into the recyclers. So I'm probably going to be decking things out around here with glass fiber cable. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to weave that under all the floorboards. I may try and get it into the walls, I'm not sure. Because the walls being a construction foam, as you saw, we can embed the wires in them and hide them, making them look nice and pretty. Something else I'm probably going to be doing next time is making some painters and getting some color into the place, because Outpost 31 in the thing was actually mostly wooden interiors, with the occasional piece of metal, but it wasn't this grey stone kind of thing. And I can't remember if I closed a door over here, actually. That's something I should check out. But another piece of information that I figured out is there is a way for us to make gravel without touching equivalent exchange. Oh good, I did close the door. And it's snowing! A joy. We'll touch that later, I think. Because there's still a fair few rooms, as you can tell by the floor, that I haven't hooked up to the item delivery system, but everything that needs to be hooked up is hooked up. So, what is that way of getting gravel? Well, it's actually like the most high-end thing that it could possibly be, which is UU matter. Which, if you're playing this normally, as I suppose the phrase would be, you would be going from UU matter into diamonds, like, start, finish, done. But we're going a much longer route of things, so that we're around all of this gang stuff. Yep. And you are doing nothing because you have no power, because you have no heat. But let's give you some power, shall we? Yep, we can hear everything running now. The furnace at the right there is blinking on and off because it's at the end, so it's the last one that gets any power from these. And again, we have our low voltage transformer because same problem. That will serve you nicely for now. Okay, so UU matter, if you have, I believe it is five of them, in what I can only describe as a thumbs up, or a kind of formation, you can make, I think it's 64 gravel, or 64 flint, I'm not 100% sure which, but either way, getting the flint from the gravel is not that difficult. I really need to do something with this recreation room. I'm not sure, maybe I'll install Pong. I need to do something with the station manager as well. Haven't touched food, just because the server hasn't been on, so I haven't really had a chance to do much of anything but build that bottom, that basement area, and get the material ready for the beast. But here we have steel. It looks very nice, I think. Very, very industrial. I kind of have to keep remembering that I kind of need to keep remembering that I have to have a door open, or else I can't get back in now, because this used to be where I would pop out momentarily, because it's a wooden door, so I can just open it from the other side. But on the right side, I don't have to worry too much about the zombies banging on the doors anymore. Yep. Doors, my one weakness. If you happen to have some spare cash lying around, by the way, feel free to donate. The link is in the description. I've worked out I can probably afford a dedicated gaming computer, but it will cost me quite a couple £100 to get something decent, so donations certainly welcome. If you like the series and you'd like to see it in higher frames per second, which that doesn't really usually mean too much for me, but oh well. Well, it means a lot for my frames, but my gameplay not so much. Because my gameplay tends to be as high in FPS as it needs to be most of the time. Especially once you get into the swing of things. But, anyways, I digress. Christmas is coming, so by all means donate. I'll try to figure out something I can do around here to thank anyone that donates, but not a necessary thing, because I can probably cover it. Whimpering, but I can cover it. I need to do something with this room. I'm just wandering around rambling now, aren't I? Anyways, so that is the guide to voltages, and it's something you need to keep in mind when you are using high voltage power, like stuff coming out of an MFSU or a nuclear reactor, and something you do when you're upgrading your power supplies as well. So glad we had that chat. It's holy smeg, there's a creeper in the side entrance. Not too surprising, there isn't any lighting in there, but oh well. He can't get in, that's a reinforced door and everything's blast proof. Well, except for this ceiling. I should do something about that at some point. Okay, but I shall catch you next time, when I shall cover the laundry list of things that I've just described. So, catch you then.